Hey guys, so I just got to the end of this really last training cycle. I didn't really get the chance to deload the way I really would have liked. I had a lot of traveling to do this past week, so pretty much up until I was working with, I think, around 92 to 96% of my old maxes. I really started to feel a little bit beat up, decided to deload, but typically during the deload, I don't necessarily like not training at all. The detraining effect happens normally pretty significantly for me, so I like to typically work with anywhere from 50 to 60% of my maxes for just multiple sets of like anywhere from 1 to 3. But I didn't really get the chance to do that this week. I get back yesterday after driving around 4.5 hours-ish. Decided I really wanted to hit a PR. I didn't really want to pass this this peak by too much because too many days passed, probably just wouldn't be able to hit any new PR at all. So really what I went in to do was based on a calculation of my old newer rep PRs, I guess. I would take a very conservative estimate as to where my new maxes were, and I would try to shoot for that. Hopefully a little bit would have been kept in the tank for some of the lifts, and that way next training block I'll hopefully take a pretty significant jump. But because I decided to test squat more recently than I had tested deadlift and bench, I really only decided to address those. I ended up working up to a 635 deadlift. I ended up doing it strapped. Didn't really want to risk the chance of not getting it because that probably would have been pretty frustrating. But normally I'm an advocate of maybe trying 5 pounds more than your old max and letting that dictate whether you go for more weight after that. But I didn't really think I was going to be able to do deadlifts. After being in a seated position for a few hours, I was starting to feel a little bit sore, tight in the hips. My last pull up to that was a 565 pull. It moved what I thought was very, very slow. So it was kind of going to be a big hit or miss thing, but managed to get it up. A little bit of hitching issues, I thought, but that's something to address in this next training block with a lot more glute work and maybe a little bit more ab work, because I think a big contributor of that might just be my anterior pelvic tilt, so that might be something to address. After that, worked up to bench, and a couple videos ago, I know a few of you guys have pointed out, and I realized this in hindsight, that what I thought was a 430 attempt a few weeks ago was actually a 440 attempt, or which I did miss, but it was pretty close to being locked out at the time. So that was kind of a relief to find that there was more weight on there than I thought, but I went in there and pretty much just went for 430 this time. The real 430, double check both sides, make sure nothing was going wrong with it. But managed to get that up pretty easily, actually. But then after that, I pretty much decided to call it. Just kind of, I'll take my PRs where they are, and then I'll address some of the issues I've noticed with my training in general during this past training block, and then work on fixing them. But some things I learned from this past whole training block, and that's normally, I guess, between 92 to 96% of my max. During my peaking is probably the time where I should think about doing a deload after. I think that's right around the weight, for me at least, where I feel comfortable handling heavy enough weight, where I can still manage to stay tight, and where I can still hit a comfortable triple. Another thing is during my hypertrophy block that really sunk into me is that it's okay to go away from those main lift variations, especially ones that allow you to go through a greater range of motion seem to be a great replacement for some of those. So deficit deadlifts, high bar squat as opposed to a typical low bar squat, just allowing me to sink my hips a little bit lower, really. I'm starting to work in more of a wide grip, close grip combination, because I'm really not supposed to be doing any sort of regular competition grip bench during this next hypertrophy block, for example. But that seems to be working pretty well for me so far, so I'll stick with the winning formula. And then as far as the strength block, pretty much all I can really say for that is as soon as I feel that I have built pretty much any more muscle on my frame, I'm just going to run that consecutively because I seem to have a pretty good amount of success with doing that. So those are my pretty much big 3 takeaways for myself as far as this past training block and how I'm going to be implementing things in the future. Hopefully within the very near future, it'll be a 650 deadlift, probably 440, maybe 450 for a reach for bench, and 600-pound squat is probably there now, but that should be the next one to come up. But until next time, like, share, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys later.